Let me just jump into another area that I'm very interested in, and that's, and as every member of this body is, I can remember back when in the 90s they had what was referred to as Hillary Healthcare. And at that time, there were several members of Parliament. One of them was up here and we had a hearing. And that person said, you know, it's hard for us in the United Kingdom to understand why we've had this type of socialized medicine for as many years as I can remember. This is his quote. He said, and yet we're now finally realizing that your system over in the United States is a much better system. And we're now starting to discard the old socialized medicine system. Well, that's something that we saw way back in the 90s, and it came again with the Affordable Care Act, ObamaCare. Now, we have a lot of examples in my state of Oklahoma, just heartbreaking accounts. Since the rollout last fall, my office has been flooded with stories from Oklahomans who found Obamacare to be one massive broken promise from President Obama. These stories include a woman from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, who reported a 20% increase in her monthly premiums. A father from Owasso, Oklahoma, shared a story, and I talked to all these individuals personally, shared a story of his son and daughter who serve as missionaries in Indonesia, and their health care deductibles in the United States have more than doubled from $1,200 per person to $2,600 a person. One teacher, a public school teacher from Copan, Oklahoma, who teaches, actually not in public schools, in adjunct college classes, she shared that not only did she have her work hours cut, but is now paying $950 a month in premiums for health care with a $6,000 deductible. Another teacher from Sallisaw, Oklahoma, that happens to be the strawberry capital of the world, in case you guys didn't know that, shared that her deductible increased by $1,000 from last year. A man from Noble told us that his company modified health plans to match the Obamacare requirements. It's a company that he owned. He said these changes cost him a 40% increase in his out-of-pocket expenses and his premium costs. A man from Tulsa who lives actually in my same neighborhood. He has a family of 5. He works for a small business, shared with us that he is now paying $4,000 more for insurance than he had paid just a year ago. In this November, a new open enrollment period will begin in at least one state. Virginia has already reported an astounding 22% increase over the past year. Now, all of that's happening, and people from any state, any of the 50 states, can come down and talk about individual cases in their state. We have one good thing that's going on right now. We have a great Attorney General by the name of Scott Pruitt. Scott Pruitt, the Attorney General from Oklahoma, has a lawsuit. It's called Pruitt versus Burwell. The Oklahoma has standing to proceed on a case that the IRS acted beyond Congress's intent in its effort to impose penalties in states that have federal exchanges. Now, we have 36 states that have federal exchanges. These exchanges are, well, first of all, the administration had a motion to dismiss, and it was overruled 11 months ago. So this is a real case, and the state has asked for a summary judgment. Success in this case would mean the dismantling of the ObamaCare employer and individual mandates for all 36 states that have at least a partial federally facilitated exchange. So I guess you can say that it might end up being that our Attorney General from the state of Oklahoma is going to be the one that is going to be the most successful in doing something about this thing that we should have learned a long time ago was not going to work. You know, I have a personal interest in this, having there are states that have, or countries that have socialized medicine. We have Canada, we have Great Britain, we have many other countries. In making a study of these, you find that there is limited coverage for people when they reach a certain age. I see our good friend from Wyoming who's a medical doctor, and he's given his second opinion many times. In one of those, he talked about you get past a certain age, you're unable to get the treatment. I happen to have had occasion to have 4 bypasses at an age when in some countries I would not have qualified. So, you know, it's something that we have been very active in, and we're going to hopefully be the heroes from the state of Oklahoma in offering release to at least 36 of our states. With that, I will yield the floor.